Hello again, everyone. I hope you've had a good lunch and enjoyed the stands downstairs. We're going to get on to our next session now. We've got a couple of hours of the Little Zero sessions continuing. So this one is with Juliet Davenport, the founder of Good Energy, and we're going to be talking about the pathways to a net zero Britain. So pretty relevant, I'm sure you'll all agree. And I think Juliet is on the line right now.
Hi, yes, my name's Juliet Davenport. I set up a business called Good Energy about 20 years ago. I guess my background is I'm a climate scientist by training, but got passionate about doing something on climate change, set up an energy company to do it, and have been working for 20 years in the energy sector to really try and pioneer a zero carbon sort of approach to the UK's energy system. And that's what we're going to talk about today. This report, I stepped down from Good Energy earlier this year, and this is, I guess, my parting gift to the business is a sort of report on how the UK could be turning renewables up to 11 effectively, 100% renewable powered Britain.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Juliet. I'll hand over to you to talk everyone through your presentation.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'm just going to start with the overview of why we did this report. So really what we were trying to do is look at a world where essentially we looked at renewables being the major part of a delivery system to deliver zero carbon. And sort of when you look at the future, and the future is never set, it's very easy to sort of say, oh, it must have this or it must have that. But what we wanted to do is to say, okay, so if we pushed renewables to the edge, what would that mean? We know we've got lots of renewable resources in the UK. We've got loads of wind, we've got loads of sun, we've got geothermal, we've got tidal, we've got marine. But if we turned it all up, how would that look for Britain? Would it be possible to deliver zero carbon with that? What would the cost be? And what would that feel like for us as consumers as part of that? And so that's what this report tries to do. So I'm going to kind of take you through a little bit of the methodology and then what we found as a result of doing this piece of work. So first of all, when people come and talk to me about kind of what does it need for the UK to zero carbon, my view is that you need to do there are 5 areas of work that you need to do as a country, whether that's policymakers or industry or to get involved in delivering on zero carbon. And the first area is research and innovation. So we need to know that we are making investments in research and innovation, not for necessarily today, but for the future. So the technologies that we want to use in 5 or 10 years' time that are more efficient, that are more effective, that are completely brand new, are going to take research and innovation investment today. The next piece is infrastructure. So the key infrastructures in the energy sector are the gas network, the electricity network, and our transport network. And all of those have been built around a high carbon world. So tomorrow, when we need to deliver a zero carbon world, we will need to look at how that infrastructure plays out. Then the regulation that we have in play, again, built for a high carbon world. A lot of the regulation is driven around the fact that we had coal and gas plants delivering the majority of our electricity over the last 20 years. So going forward, when that actually switches over, and renewables today are now one of the biggest sources of energy in the UK, that needs to change. And then consumers. So consumers tend to be left out of the equation. When I joined the energy industry, there were a lot of heads of companies who were talking about meters. So they basically deliver power to a meter, not to a household or a business. And actually, they didn't really care about what happened on the other side. Today, for me, consumers are absolutely key to this energy transition. And recently, in the Climate Change Committee report, they really pointed towards consumers being an absolutely key part of the infrastructure to deliver this. And then finally, we are going to need the right skills to do this. Now, we don't touch a lot on the report in terms of what skills, but we know that there are going to need to be new skills that are going to be developed to be able to deliver on zero carbon. So that is a kind of overview of framework that we did this piece of work in. Whoops, I've jumped ahead. We then decided that we needed to work with somebody who, one, has done a lot of energy modelling in the UK already, and two, has a system, has an energy model. So we did a tender, but we ended up working with the Energy Systems Catapult, which is funded by Innovate UK. I sit on the Council of Innovate UK, so that was my one declaration. But the work that they've done a lot of the work for the sort of foundational work for the Climate Change Committee, for other areas. And so we wanted to work with a partner who is already deeply steeped in doing energy modelling, and then work with them to really push that model to the edge.